Hello. Today I want to introduce you to a resource that is available to you guys that may help a little bit with the understanding of the standards that your child is learning. This comes after receiving several questions or concerns about looking at the pre-assessment data and wanting to help your child but not really knowing how to explain what it is they're supposed to be learning or what they're supposed to know. And so my hopes are you find this resource very beneficial towards helping you to understand how to explain it to them. So where I'm at right now is at the Red Oak ISD webpage. Okay, so take you back here to the home page. Alright, so this is just the home page for redoakisd.org. And if you go over here and click on the staff button, yes, it says staff, not parents. Make sure you're on the staff button. Under here you have several links, and I want you to look at the one down here that's in kind of this, I guess you say beige color, the little apple in the center, and it says TEKS Resource System. Okay, TEKS Resource System. Alright, so you're going to click that, and that's going to take you to a separate web page. Alright, once you get to this web page here, there's a large red button that says click here to continue as a parent/guest. So this is the one you'll want to use. Alright, it'll give you some information about what this website's about and what kind of information it contains. You can read that if you like. Then just press continue. Okay, once inside here, this is the home page for this website. You're going to come up here where it says Parent Resources. Under Parent Resources, choose the one that says Search TCMPC Components. Okay, from here, you're going to have a couple of drop-down selections. So you want to choose the grade level your child is in. For example, let's say they're in 3rd grade. You want to choose the subject material that you're wanting to know more about the standards. So for today's video, we're going to do math. Be careful, there's a Spanish version, Mathematicus. So be careful not to choose that one. It may look a little confusing if you do. Since we're not looking at a high school grade level, we won't have to select anything there. If you are doing 9th grade algebra, you would have to select algebra from there. And this is where it's a little confusing. Don't click search, just scroll down to the bottom. And down here at the bottom, you see under this column where it says curriculum, you want to choose the one that says Enhanced TEKS Clarification, K through 8 Math Only. Okay, so these documents are only made for K through 8th grade. Unfortunately, they don't have one of these for the algebra. Okay, but for K through 8, you can click on that, and then you can hit search. And that's going to pull that document up. This is called the Grade 3 Enhanced TEKS Clarification Document. Alright, it's the same for the other grade levels, it just changes out the grade number. So when you open that, okay, that should open the document in the website. Unfortunately, it's not one that you can pull off and save to your desktop. It has to stay on the website. But basically, this is just one long, lengthy document. So you will have to do some scrolling to get to the standard that you're working on with your child. Okay, but I'll show you it's not too difficult. If you scroll down, you don't need to worry about the introduction part. You can skip over that part. Okay, this first section, the 3.1 section, these are in math are what we call the process standards. Okay, the process standards, these get applied to all of the content that your child is learning this year in math. So any new skill or concept that they learn, they have to be able to apply these processes to it to show mastery of that skill or concept. And so some of these are talking about how you learn the content, how you go about getting the knowledge. And then others of these processes are talking about how you apply the knowledge, how do you show or demonstrate your understanding of the knowledge. But you can see each one of them here. 3.1a, it describes what it is. It gives you what the key verb is from that, as well as a basic description of what it's saying to do. Okay. Under each one of those process TEKS, there's a section of notes that maybe help you to understand it just a little bit better, what it's wanting you to be able to do. Okay. And so you have that for each of the process TEKS. Anything that's 3.1, that's going to be a processing TEK. Okay. And then once you get down past the 3.1s, starting at 3.2 and on, these are what we call the skills or concepts standards. And so these are actually the skills or concepts that your child should learn at the current grade level they're in, according to the state of Texas. Okay? And so, for example, let's say your child on their pre-assessment struggled with 3.2a. compose and decompose numbers up to 100,000 as sums of so many 10,000s, so many thousands, so many hundreds, so many tens, and so many ones using objects, pictorial models, and numbers, including expanded notation as appropriate. Now, I can get anybody who doesn't live and breathe math every day would read that and go, what are they talking about? Alright, so you want to start looking for words that you're not familiar with, and then coming down here and see if they help break it apart and explain what that means. For example, I might read that and say compose and decompose. Not really sure what that means unless we're talking about a corpse. And here we're not talking about a corpse. So I come down here and I see compose and decompose, and it tells me, let's see here. I thought it gave you the breakdown of the word. Let's see. Okay, here it is down here. I just scroll down a little bit further. Okay, so compose and decompose numbers. Composing numbers means to combine parts or smaller values to form a number. So for example, if I had the number 28, I could combine the parts 20 and 8 to make 28, or I might combine the parts 24 and 4 to make 28. So that's composing a number from its parts. And then decomposing is going the opposite direction. You're breaking apart the number into smaller parts. So if I started with the number 24 and I decompose it, I could break it into 12 and 12, okay, or 10 and 14. So whatever I want to break it apart into that's smaller than the number I started with. So you may have to scroll a little bit to find exactly what you're looking for, but each of these terms up here, it tries to explain what those mean down here in this notes section. Okay, so I encourage you to read through that, and it will help with kind of understanding what this TEK is saying. Then, beyond that, it actually provides examples of what it's talking about. So in each one of these boxes in this document, there's examples to show what it means when it says moving left across the places, the values 10 times the position to the right. So when I move one place value to the left each time, that place value is 10 times greater than the place value before it. So this pictorial is helping to illustrate that to your child, what that means. Okay. Again, here's some examples of how to use the manipulatives to explain place value. So you have your thousands block, your flats that represent hundreds, your longs that are tens, and your units that are ones. And so you can use those to create place value. It even shows you how to do it with these other manipulatives called place value chips, if you have those available to you. If your child wants to draw a picture version of those models, if they don't have the models handy, this illustrates how you can properly draw a picture to illustrate those models. Okay? Same thing with those place value chips and examples of the number line. It's another way to show composing and decomposing of numbers. So again, they're going to explain what the terminology means, and then they're going to try to provide you examples to help you visualize what that's saying. Okay? Here's again some examples using the base 10 blocks. How could 3,672 be decomposed into thousands, hundreds, tens, and ones? So they're showing you a model of how the number can be decomposed. So you could break it into 3 1,000s, 6 hundreds, 7 tens, and 2 ones. That's one possibility. Here's another possibility. I could break it into 3,000s, 500s, looks like 16 tens, and looks like 12 ones. So that's not quite so obvious, but really these values are the same, because you know if you only hold up to 10 ones in this first column, then you would move 10 of those over to the tens column and only keep 2 over here. And then you can only keep up to 10 in the tens column, so you'd move 10 off of here over to the hundreds spot. And eventually you would see that these create the same thing. Okay, so they're showing you multiple ways to represent decomposing the number 3,672. Okay? And so every TEK is in here. When I say TEK, I mean standard. Every learning standard your child should know by the end of this year is listed in here. So it's a fairly lengthy document. Like I said, you would have to scroll down to find the one that you're wanting clarification on. And then when you find it, read through what it has to say about there. Okay? So I hope you find this document beneficial. I hope this really helps. I'll be continuing to create find other resources for you that may help you in working with your child. If you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to contact me. Thank you.